welcome to the fifth and final day of the Tour of Hungary for 2023. And the weather conditions have closed in considerably. They're a little bit choice. They're very unexpected, and they're certainly unseasonable. 12 degrees centigrade is relatively balmy. 6 kilometers an hour wind, not a factor, but the rains have closed in, and that's going to have an effect on what we're going to see in the next little while. Mark Hirschi heading into the final day of action with a 10-second advantage over Ben Tollett. Yanni Voissart making it 2 Swiss on the podium heading into the final day. Of another Brit, Spoon, placed. Budapest, the final stage destination, the 150th anniversary of the nation's capital. Beautiful circuit mapped out, and beautiful weather conditions when we filmed these images of a nation and indeed a city absolutely dripping with extraordinary history and culture and extraordinary architecture. An empire once upon a time. The evidence is there before you on the shores of the Danube. And the weather closing in, and the great and the good making their way to the start line, which is also the finish line of what was billed as a circuit race for the riders. And the smiles beaming through the dank conditions as the riders made their preparations. Plenty of discussions ongoing as the start approached. Final opportunity perhaps for the sprinters to strut their stuff. Unfortunately, well, the weather gods had other ideas. Teams and riders too. After lots of discussions, lots of inspections of that circuit, the meeting taking place in the morning and just a couple of hours ahead of the anticipated start of the stage. Well, it was decided that they would cancel the stage. So start time approached and the riders get set to get on their bike. Well, an appearance was made by the peloton, but the weather conditions just too challenging, really. And these images, these slow motion images, I think giving us a sense of just how unnatural really the weather has been over the last few days, not just in Hungary but throughout Europe. Weather falling and causing all sorts of shenanigans across the world, not just the cycling world. Nonetheless, the usual ceremonies taking place at the start line, and the jersey classification holders presented to the large crowd who hung around despite the late news that the stage was cancelled, neutralised, and the riders, rather than doing the full 150 kilometres to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Budapest, would be reduced in size to just 8 touring laps, neutralised and no race. Martin Dina, or Dina Martin as they say around these here parts. Looking pretty smiley. Mark Hirschi a little less so. Just to be got through. The yellow jersey underneath the wet weather gear, the UAE Team Moments rider. First ever jersey classification winner in a major international stage race. Big time for him. And the jerseys are all underneath the wet weather gear. The riders were clapped away and sent on with the best wishes of a large and appreciative crowd. Great enthusiasm for this event throughout the week. It's been a fabulous week of racing action in Hungary. Something of a damp squib conclusion to the week. Nonetheless, the riders would ensure that they would present themselves to the crowd, present this beautiful city to the eyes of the watching world. And as you can see on screen, safety conditions, the deciding factor. That opening hairpin, giving you a sense of just what the challenge would be. This, of course, neutralised, so therefore much slower. No commitment for the riders if they were racing. It would be a different prospect and potentially absolutely treacherous. It was the PCA, the union of the riders, assembling to meet with the UCI representatives here at this race, and of course the race organisers themselves. They mapped out a beautiful 9.5 kilometre circuit around the streets of central Budapest. Their way crimson climb to glory this week. Stork, of course, is the mascot of this particular event. Mark Hershey on the left-hand side of the picture is, of course, the overall race winner, having been decided in advance of this promenade, this 8-lap parade. The classifications will be locked in and confirmed, so therefore Mark Hershey can celebrate. I mean, to be honest, for him, this final stage was one to be got through, and assuming he stayed upright and stayed out of trouble, that final result was never going to be a dash. I'm delighted, I suppose, to get some miles in. 80 kilometres in total of riding, and plenty of people coming out on a pretty miserable Sunday. Too many people would be in this part of town otherwise, so you can be sure that they're coming out for good reason. Caleb Ewan not getting the win he would have liked. Chatting with his Tippetian, Shane Archibald from New Zealand, rivals, and trying to construct victory from the lead-outs and from those sprints, to getting the win they would have liked during the week. Shane Archibald looking after the interests of Sam Bennett, beaten by just millimetres on stage one. Bennett would have hoped for an opportunity to strut his stuff in another cup in the city, having taken victories in the past in Rome and, of course, in Paris in major Grand Tour stage victories, and made a habit really. And enjoying a bit of success in the final stage circuit races that are so popular with race organisers. This was a really nice circuit mapped out, as I say. And still an opportunity to see these wonderful sights. The Hungarian Parliament in all its glory, created and presented to the world in 1902. It's the largest building in Hungary, in actual fact. It's a perfect mirror either side. And it's, check my stats, 268 metres long, 123 metres wide, 10 courtyards, 13 passenger and freight elevators, 27 gates, 29 staircases. It's a scat fest. It's a big building. A beautiful location as well, down by the Danube. Thumbs up for the crowd out. And they deserve every accolade for having supported the riders right through to the conclusion of this event. Celebrations all round for those that have survived the week. Not everyone has managed to make it through to the conclusion. The Pepperneck's Hungary cycling team, I think, would have loved an opportunity to really go flat chat through these streets that they know so well. The national team of Hungary as well have had a busy week. Plenty of Hungarian representation in this particular event. Hero Square in all its glory, it's absolutely magnificent. I think these helicopter images give you a great sense of it, but they really give the scale. I mean, when you're down there in the vehicles, which look absolutely tiny, then you can really appreciate how huge it is. There's it, Formula One driver, who shall remain nameless and blameless, drove a hire car right up the middle of Hero Square when the Formula One Grand Prix came to Hungary back in the mid-1980s. He didn't do it twice. Of course, this particular stage is going across two bridges. This is the Chain Bridge, the famous Chain Bridge. It's under reconstruction and renovation. British architect William Tierney Clark doing the needful, mid-19th century, and it's plenty of attention of late. I think it's only open to pedestrians and cyclists at the moment. Whether they intend to reopen it to vehicular traffic, as the phrase would have it, I'm not 100% sure, but that's currently the state. It's just bike riders going across it today. Particular sections, I think, only giving you a sense of just how treacherous those roads would have been under here. Having said that, this particular stage signed off by the UCI. The rain, well, the wind is not a factor, the cold is not a factor either, although it'll be chilly enough out there for the riders. Be of a mind that it's likely to be you know, weather protocol territory. It's just about the wet weather conditions, how it makes those roads more difficult. Why do they race in the rain everywhere else? Well, it's because in the major cities, of course, you've got the diesel oil dropped by the buses and trucks, and the rubber as well going down from the various vehicles day in, day out, pounding these streets. And rough enough roads as well. Just makes it grip pretty much at a premium. Everyone loves a train station, particularly one as impressive as this. Inside 45 to go of the tour for the riders on what is a final day promenade. Sprinters don't get to strut their stuff. The jersey classifications have been completed to this point, and the celebrations can begin in earnest. St. Stephen's Basilica, renamed, I think, in the 19th century. Magnificent edifice. Major seats of worship in this town. And in honour of Stephen, the first king of Hungary. His right hand is somewhere in there. Jersey classifications confirmed. Mark Hirschi will collect the all-important yellow jersey, the final and the most important jersey of the lot at the conclusion of this promenade. Just Stoychek also celebrating. He'll get a green jersey after his significant efforts. Matthias Church, another edifice that has been reconstructed over the years. First building in the 13th century. Oh, there's the Buda Castle. That's also as impressive an evidence as you're ever likely to see, just lording it over the skyline, looking down over Budapest. 50 years ago, the Buda and Pest, which are two separate towns, of course, divided by the Danube, came together to form the city of Budapest. Games, a little bit of high jinks, bit of D-mob spirit for the riders as they prepare for the departure and off to the battles to come. Baroncini for the Trek Segafredo squad. Quite get the win they would have liked. There's the Margaret Island that sits in the centre between Buda and Pest, named after St. Margaret, as you can see there. Bridge at the end is remarkable. We're going to see that again. This particular stage goes across two different bridges. The chain link bridge that we've seen and the Margaret Bridge. You see the three-way bridge, as they call it. Maybe wet weather gear going on, not too much of it coming off. Not for a while at any rate. And the bell tolls to announce the imminent conclusion of a fabulous week of racing. It all began with the big bunch gallop that went in the favour of Dylan Groenewegen, the extraordinary Team Jayco Alula sprinter, just edging a bike throw from Sam Bennett by literally millimetres. Caleb Ewan getting up for third on that occasion. Day two went to the sprinters as well. Fabio Jakobsen built from a gun. He was fired like a catapult out of the wheels that he surfed to glory, and Jakobsen, the Soudal quick-step rider, getting up for victory, bike lengths clear of Phil Bauhaus. Vito Bratz, who the usual third place finish for Team Flanders Balois. Then we went mountain climbing, first of two summit finishes, going the way of Mark Hirschi, who overhauled a wonderful attack by Ben Tullett of the English Grenadiers squad. Tullett surviving to edge his fellow countryman from Team DSM, Max Poole. Oscar Onley fought across the line, Sylvain Moniquet and others. As I Imagine we're celebrating an important unification, an important anniversary of an important unification this year. And yesterday's fourth stage, of course, going to Yanni Voissart, who's getting set to join Mark Hirschi on the final winner's podium. Voissart, great piece of opportunism, racing clear to take the victory solo. This is the beautiful three-way bridge, the Market Hit Bridge. Bridge separating Budapest and also allowing access to the Margaret Island, and we can go to Buda or Budapest from there. 19th century construction, bombed during the Second World War. Tragically, actually, the Germans were bombing it as the Soviet forces approached Budapest. Unfortunately, there was a spark from a tram, went off early. The estimates range anywhere between 100 and 600 people killed in a particular explosion. Tragic times, but they rescued quite a bit of the steel from the River Danube and recreated the bridge using a lot of the original material. And major renovation actually in recent years as well. Final stage of the Tour of Hungary, something of a damn squib. The riders working their way towards a conclusion of an event that has thrilled all. Yanni Voissart, as I mentioned, taking the fourth stage, the all-important fourth stage. Great piece of athleticism from an emerging climbing rider of great ability. And Voissart, 10 seconds clear of a group led in by another man, enhancing his reputation, a young man stepping up to the big show. Czech Segafredo rider Thibaut Nace, sixth in one of the flat road sprints during the week, second across the line ahead of a group of climbers, and Sylvain Monaco. Mark Hirschi getting up for fourth, and crucially and critically for him, ahead of his nearest rival in general classification, Ben Tollett. Max Poole in his wheel as well, and Matteo Fabro, Oscar Onley, Pigan Zoli, Paul Double, Rudy Porter, all enhancing their reputation, but not able to overhaul Swiss World Tour superstar. Here's the Parliament buildings down by the Danube. It just looks as if the Danube is about to overflow the banks, but that's kind of standard actually. It's got a tiered step up. It did overflow, didn't it, about, I'm trying to think, 10 or 12 years ago. There were huge floods in this part of Budapest. But they've kind of sort of got a lower tier, which plays host to cars and trams, and plenty of pedestrians as well. And that allowed a little bit of an overspill. Still plenty of damage. Magnificent edifice. One of the two tallest buildings in Budapest, actually, along with the St. Stephen's Basilica, which we saw a little earlier. It's not a city that is, unlike many other major European capitals, it's not a city that has this huge central business district with tall skyscrapers. This is still a pretty tall building, I can tell you. From the, if you ever take a pleasure boat cruise down the Danube in this city, you just get a magnificent side of the Parliament buildings. It's lit up at night, it's wonderful uplighting as well. It looks absolutely marvelous. Mr. Bond's enjoying the crack, isn't he, at the end of a tough week of racing. He was in the break on a couple of occasions. Looked like he had plans for an assault on that green jersey that Matas Stojcek is going to collect. He'd won all three sprints today. He would have won that green jersey if he'd gone up the road in the early break. We'll never know now. Unfortunately, stage cancelled and neutralised. The ceremonial lapse almost completed for the riders. The final 5K, which would have been raced off at a frenetic, pretty aggressive pace. Elbow to elbow, these riders, but very much in a benign and cooperative sense. No colour blocking required, no lead outs required for the sprinters. But this still a race, I think, that's going from strength to strength, and this week has done nothing but enhance its reputation. Stepping up into the Pro Series this year, and a contract set for 3 years in total. It's going to win a couple of years at this level, and indeed plenty of ambition shown by the race organisers. Plenty of buy-in as well from local authorities throughout Hungary, starting off in the western part of the nation at St. Gotthard. First time city for the event, which of course can trace its lineage, as I've said many times this week, back to 1925. It's the 44th edition in total. Now an event firmly established on the World Cycling calendar, and playing into the rich heritage in cycling that Hungary has. A wider world only coming to realise just the quality of bike rider in this part. With continental team and national team and representation indeed on other squads as well. No Attila Walter here this week. We've seen plenty of national champions jerseys with the Jumbo-Visma decoration though. He's a big hero. And he and this event helping to elevate the stature of cycling in Hungary. Not just of course for the racers, burgeoning and growing number, but the leisure bike riders, and we've been presented with literally thousands of kilometres of bike trails on and off-road available to leisure bike riders to sample out in the countryside. Northwest Hungary as well, and then down in Pest County yesterday for the second and final summit finish, going the way of Yanni Vossal. A squad that will, I think, be looking forward to battles to come, maybe on sunnier and warmer roads in Spain. Their rider, Abel Baldestone-Rumens, stepping up into the top 10 on general classification, taking something from the week. And the Spanish rider stepping up to a higher level. Level here. There you go. It's a great sight of the Buda Castle, just how it looms large in the skyline over Budapest. Again, another building which at night is really lit up. If you look up into the hills above Budapest, it's an awesome and imposing sight, which I suspect was the objective of the architect. The Baroque palace. Some imposing stature. Castle first here in 1265. This one was built between 1749 and 1760. Riders electing not to wear gloves, brave, intrepid souls that they are. The funny thing is, of course, that reduced risk as a result of neutralising this, less likely to fall over the riders are. But of course, slightly less intensity, well, a lot less intensity about it means that it's going to be pretty chilly for them out there. So they certainly can be forgiven for wearing all of their winter gear, covering up classification jerseys. And winter gear, of course, not exactly the same colours as the jerseys underneath. That's because it's difficult to apply the colours to a lot of the specific water repellent material that's used for those winter jackets. And they tend to be black. You can have them pretty much any colour you like as long as they're black, for the most part. Final tour within the final 3 kilometres of concluding this event, and heading for the airport, heading for the sanctuary of the buses. A lot of riders, I think, will be grateful for opportunity to divest themselves of wet weather gear and preparations for the battles to come. A little dry interlude across this and around this 9.5 kilometre lap. Just trying to shake some life into the limbs. You can tell, even if it's just 80k, even if it is neutralised, maybe because it's neutralised, the rider's getting a little bit chilly, so it's probably the maximum length they could endure without there being a different issue to deal with. As tunnel exits go, that's definitely pretty much world class, isn't it? Fabulous structure. With hopes in years to come we'll see them in sunnier climes. quantity investment squad with plenty to celebrate from the week. 2 classification jerseys, courtesy of the aforementioned Matt Sturgeon taking the green jersey of leader and winner of the points classification, and indeed Dina Martin, the local man, winning the best Hungarian rider classification. His white jersey is down there somewhere, tucked down under the wet weather gear. For continental level team, third division status to carry off 2 classification jerseys represents a major success against World Tour teams. 9 World Tour squads, of course, 9 at pro team level, Division 2, 3 at continental Division 3 level, and 1 national team, the Hungarian national squad, who've certainly given a good account of themselves this week with plenty of representation in the early moves. And those early moves quite surviving. We thought that it might be there might be a chance for the Belgians in the early break yesterday, but overhauled within a couple of kilometres of the finish line. Up to be for Yves Lampart and Jasper de Bost on that occasion. So Lampart could celebrate a successful week following the success of Fabio Jakobsen on stage 2. It's a solid enough rhythm. You know what? I mean, this is actually, it looks like an absolute promenade, a cruise, a ride to the shops kind of pace. But actually, the pace of the riders today has been north of 35 kilometers an hour, and it's instructive, isn't it? Where the average club run to go 35 kilometers an hour, there'll be plenty of shouts from riders huffing and puffing in the wheels that maybe they might think about going easy at the front. Actually, many of these riders finding this pace even remotely challenging. Important, as I mentioned, that they do go at just about fast enough so that they stay warm enough, or at least less cold, and slow enough that no risks are taken into any of the bends. The jersey I haven't really mentioned is Sebastian Schumberger. He'll be heading off to collect the red jersey of winner of the King of the Mountains classification. That one was done and dusted yesterday. He too just needed to ride through to the conclusion to ensure that he collected the final and most important King of the Mountains jersey for the Hero-powered health squad. Successful foray in the breakaway from the first year. So that's he's enjoying the breakaway from a robust debate with Dries de Mont. He's not too far from the front of the bunch at the moment, actually. Accepting, understanding what the best policy was, as best placed by the classification yesterday until he left it. And it looked like they just might survive, but nicely timed, nicely organised. To the final, a few moments was acknowledgement from several riders in the bunch of the spectators who stayed through to the bitter end. Somewhat unsatisfactory conclusion to what's been a fabulous week of racing. The promenade completed. So the duties now only remaining at the podium. And I think a real indication of just how this event has captured the imagination of the local fans. There were so many there at the finish line. Weather conditions really treacherous. It wasn't actually raining that heavily when these staged the neutralised parade at any rate when that started, but by the time the riders, as you can see, make it through to the finish line here, the conditions have certainly closed in. Almost all the riders head straight to the bus, straight to the showers and the warmth of dry clothes. Mark Hirschi, though, well, he'd be given a moment to gather his thoughts and prepare himself for the podium duties to come. In the moments, another week of racing in Hungary. No contest. The winner today, and the winners, I suppose, and they were most valuable players, you might say, were the spectators who hung around right through to see the ceremonies complete.
Well, congratulations on winning the Tour of Hungary. What does it mean for you?
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot, very much, because it's my first GC victory as a pro. So for me, it's a big achievement.
Tell me about this day. It's maybe not the most enjoyable day on a bike. What do you think about the decision to neutralize the stage and cut it to half?
I think it was good because it was super dangerous with the rain and in the city, and I think at the end was the right decision.
Normally, if you go in a weather like this on the normal road stage, so not in the city circuit, do you think that would have been cut shorter?
I mean, for sure, it's circumstances with the rain together. Yeah, I mean, it's always a difficult decision at the end. I think I think all riders appreciate a lot that they put rider safety first. So yeah, at the end for us, I think was the right decision.
What do you think about the whole race in general? I think this was your first time here.
Yeah, it was my first time. Super nice. I think this year was a good combination for flat stage and climbing stages. So was there for all the riders was something. So yeah, it was really beautiful.
What's next for you?
I will go to Boucle de Mayenne, and the next big goal is Tour de Suisse.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Beautiful race indeed, as Mark Hirschi is presented to the remaining spectators at the down-blooded podium and collects that final winner's trophy in the all-important final yellow jersey of the Tour of Hungary 2023. Mark Hirschi accepting the congratulations of his fellow podium visitors. Second place Bertolet and Yuri Boissard. We're going to see a lot more. But it's Hirschi that takes his first ever stage race success as an elite pro, confirming that 10-second advantage that he won over the last couple of days. Boissard up to third, two Swiss in the top two steps, two Brits and two Swiss in the top four. And Belgians Sylvain Moniquet of the Lotto Destiny squad in fine fifth place ahead of Only Fabro, Bernal Piganzoli and Balderstone Rubens.
So not the most enjoyable day on the bike, I guess. What do you think about the decision to neutralize the stage and then cut it to half?
I don't know. Someone can say it's a good decision, someone is wrong, but it is what it is. I think it was a good decision because if we go full gas in the turns and the whole city also in the cobbles, it's so dangerous. I think for the last day it was good.
Your team had two jerseys here in this strong field. You must be pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah, we are very satisfied about this. Two jerseys, one for a best Hungarian guy or rider, and one for sprinters. So we are happy.
You were almost every day in a jersey because you changed the I guess from red to green. What was behind it? Did you calculate that before the day?
At the first, before the first stage, we want someone in the breakaway, and it was me. And I take the mountain points, so I have mountain jersey. Also, I keep also for the second day. But in the first stage, when I was in the break, I take also some bonification and some sprint points. And then when I was in the third stage in the break, we was thinking it's maybe easier to take the sprint points. So I take all the sprints, and that's what it is.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations indeed to Matus Stojek, who takes and collects that final green points jersey of the week. It's a beautiful competition, isn't it? It's sort of equally balanced between stage winners and the winners from the intermediate sprints, those who moved up from the early break. Final confirmation. Relatively tight battle between them, just 5 points between himself and Mark Hirschi, 6 between himself and Dries de Bont, who might have challenged on the final day, but Stojek gets the glory. Gallopers in there and towards the nether regions. Would have had a chance to.
Sebastian, tell me about the decision today to neutralize the race, and when did that decision was made?
Yeah, we got the decision right before the team presentation. First, we were a little bit disappointed about this because we are here with a really good sprinting team, and yeah, we were really looking forward to this stage. It was a big goal for the team. But yeah, then we saw the parcours, and I think it was the right decision to neutralize this stage, because especially on the cobblestones, and there are a lot of right and left turns, and yeah, in the end it was too dangerous, and it was a good decision.
So it was an unanimous decision by every team and all the riders?
Yeah, so in the end the organizer have to make the decision, but yeah, it's a safety point for each rider, so it's important that the decision was made, and yeah, in the end it would be not a good idea to start a race like this.
And why did you came out to do 8 laps then?
I think it's also important to give something back to the organization. You know, it's in the really nice city of Budapest. In the end it was an awesome parcours, because next to the river and a lot of nice buildings there, so I think it was also really important for them to give them something back, and because of this we did 8 laps, and yeah, that they have some television time, I would say.
Let's talk about the other days, especially yesterday. You had a pretty good day. Was it the goal before the race to get some of the jerseys?
No, not really. So first I was thinking I will go for general classification with our climber Paul. Then on the third stage, yeah, I wanted to try something. So my racing still is like attacking, try something, do something different than the other riders. And yeah, I attacked, and then I was in a really good group, and I was thinking, okay, maybe we can survive to the finish. But then we got caught at the second last climb, and yeah, I grabbed some good mountain points, and then I said, okay, then I will go for the jersey. And yesterday was a good stage for me. Unfortunately, we got not a lot of minutes, because UAE controlled it quite hard, because I had just 1 minute, a little bit more than 1 minute in the general classification. So yeah, I decided just to concentrate me for the mountain jersey.
And one more question. You had a memorable thing on cameras with Dries de Bont. Tell me a little bit about that conversation.
Yeah, it looked funny, but you know, we are right in the breaker, we were always speaking together. Sometimes you have to make some decision, and my goal was to go for the mountain jersey. And yeah, like I told you before, it was the goal, and the UAE controlled it behind just between 2 and 3 minutes. And because of this, for me, it made no sense, and especially for the other riders, it was better that I go back. And yeah, so we worked quite well together. So we concentrated. I will win the mountain jersey, and then I went back, because yeah, they gave us not more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the explanation there from Sebastian Schoenberger, the 29-year-old Austrian in the Kometa-Xstra health squad, who won the King of the Mountains classification of Hongrie 2023. Schoenberger fending off any suggestions of any argument or disagreement with Dries de Bont. His ultimate winning advantage, 10 points over Filippo Rodolfo, who also enhanced his reputation with a couple of great visits to the break from the young Italian. But Schoenberger takes the glory in red. Comfortably ahead, classification jersey for the ATG Investment Squad. 17th overall, flirted with the top 10 after stage 3. Has been 2nd overall in this event in the past, and ultimately almost 2.5 minutes clear of Peter Kushtor. Valent also enhancing his reputation, but it's Dina, the class above, the best Hungarian rider classification. And all the jerseys together on the final podium. The one that everyone would have wanted at the start is that yellow one. goes on to battles further afield after a glorious success. The Tour of Hungary has come to a somewhat unsatisfactory conclusion, but it's been an absolutely fabulous week of racing. I've very much enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Declan Quigley. We'll be back for more some way down the road. But from all of us here, it's goodbye for now.